day.
Good morning. This is wildlife biologist Eric Orr from the Hampshire Fish and Wildlife. This picture that is hanging here on my deck reminds me of a particular day back in 1993 when I walked with the bears, which I did, I think, a couple of times, and up to Ben Killham's up in Lyme. Ben has become quite famous for his raising of orphan bear cubs for not only New Hampshire, but Vermont as well. And I worked with Ben for many years when I was the black bear biologist. And as far as I can remember, I think I actually gave him the very first bear. Although we had had others before that. My predecessor, Henry Laramie, who was a wildlife biologist, he raised a couple of cubs that were brought in one winter into summer, and we released those up in Pittsburgh. And then my neighbor and longtime friend Rick Hamlet built a bear pen right here in Epsom, and he raised a yearling bear cub that came in that I released locally, a story I will talk about someday. But looking at that picture yesterday, I kind of went through my diaries, and pretty sure this is the day. This happened to be Thursday, August 19th, 1993, when I went up and met Ben Killham at his place. It says 10 a.m. and by 11 we were walking east with the 3 cubs that he had at that time. And one of the things that I learned that day, it is so interesting, you learn so much from bears. I mean, I had been studying bears, and I studied them for 20 years. We radio collared some, we tracked them. Did you see bears very often when you radio collared? No, because they were at a distance. But when you walk with the cubs, you're right there. You're seeing what bear activity is. And one of the most interesting things was the bears showed us bear scratching posts. The bear would go up, the cub would go up to a tree and rub his back on it, or sniff it and rub his back on it, and we would walk over to that tree, and 4 feet up or 3 feet up would be bear hair. So the cubs were showing us bear sign all through the forest that day. It was so amazing that these cubs pointed out again and again bear sign that our untrained non-bear eyes would have missed. But of course they have bear noses. So I'm reading here again, so bear signs that we would never recognize. We went to several blackberry patches, and they picked blackberries so fast. I mean, you can't bring food when you walk with cubs because they'd get it away from you and wouldn't leave you alone. So you didn't bring food. So, by middle of the afternoon when we got to a blackberry patch, it was tough competition getting any blackberries, as I recall. They were pretty quick to pick them. They also ate jewelweed, aspen leaves, 3 kinds of wild lettuce I have here. And so we walked maybe 2 or 3 hours with the bear cubs that day and just learned so much. And it's amazing what they taught me to appreciate about black bears that day. So one of the days that I walked with the bear cubs with mother bear man Ben Killham.